Welcome to ACCA Academy, where accounting becomes a language you feel, not just read. I'm going to teach you audit procedures with a powerful mnemonic and song. You can literally sing inside the exam hall. Let's go. I inspect, I observe. Don't worry. Towards the end of this lecture, I will give you the complete song through which you can use to remember the audit procedures. Audit procedures are the specific actions an auditor takes to gather audit evidence. Specific actions an auditor takes to gather audit evidence. Audit procedures are the specific actions an auditor takes to gather audit evidence. Think of them as tools in your auditing toolbox. 9 major procedures, but we normally forget them. Today you won't. The mnemonic I'm going to teach you will be I observe real information as much as ensure. So this is the mnemonics will be used. I observe real information as smart checks ensures reliability. I observe real information as smart checks ensure reliability. So these acronyms will be used to memorize the audit procedures. I observe real information as smart checks ensure reliability. I observe real information as smart checks ensure reliability. So the first letter is I, followed by O, R, I, A, S, C, E, R. Iori asa. Iori asa. Iori asa. That is audit procedures. The first I stands for inspection. The first I stands for inspection. Don't worry. I will still give you a song that you can use to remember these audit procedures. So I've told you I stands for inspection. Inspection is when auditor physically checks documents or assets. It's when auditors physically checks documents or assets. You inspect them. You inspect the document, you check the document, you check the asset. That is inspection. You pick up an invoice and check if it is free. That is inspection. So when you pick up an invoice, in order to check if that invoice is free, that is inspection. I inspect, I observe. Don't worry, we will still learn the song. The second letter is O. Letter O, which is observation. Observation. The second audit procedure is O, which is for observation. Observation. That is, you watch how the client performs a process. How the process was performed by the client. That is observation. How a client performs a process. That is observation. Example, standing beside a cashier while they count cash. So when you stand beside a cashier while the cashier is counting the cash, so you are observing how they are counting it. That is observation. Don't forget our song, which I will still teach you in full. I inspect, I observe. Don't worry. So the third letter is R. R stands for recalculation. 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 That is, you check the maths. When you check the mathematical involved. So you want to recalculate. You want to check the accuracy of the calculations. That is recalculation. You check the math. Example, the client says total payroll is 2.5 million. If the client says the total payroll is 2.5 million, you compute it yourself. You try to carry out the calculation in order to know if the figure released by the client is correct. That is recalculation. After recalculation, the next letter is letter I. I stands for inquiry. I stands for inquiry. Inquiry. That is I. That is inquiry. That is you ask questions. Simple. When you inquire about something, you ask questions. That's all. So that is inquiry. Then after the inquiry, so we've considered this. We've considered this. This has been considered. This has been considered. Then the next letter is letter A. And the letter A stands for analytical procedures. A, that is for analytical procedures. Don't forget, I've told you, I still give you a song you can use to remember the whole of the process. What the video to an end. Analytical procedure, that is, you compare numbers, ratios, and trends. What are the procedures? You compare numbers, ratios, and trends. Example, it says doubled, but expenses didn't move. It says it's twice, the expenses did not increase. So that means a suspicion is activated. That means you'll be suspecting that something is wrong. If sales is double, then the expense is supposed to increase, even if it will not increase proportionately with sales. So that will raise a question. It will raise a kind of suspicion that something is happening, something is fishy. So that is analytical procedures. That is, you compare numbers, ratios, and trends. Then after analytical procedure, the next letter is letter S, which stands for scanning. S for scanning. Scanning. Scanning, that is quick review to look for unusual items. When you review the details, you review the records, you review the financial statement in order to look out for unusual items. That is scanning. Scanning, that is quick review to look for unusual items. Example, a salary of 4.4 million naira. A salary of 4 million naira to a driver. If a salary of 4 million is paid to a driver, that will, for a month, that will raise a question that something is happening. So then you have to scan that. The next letter is letter C. C stands for confirmation. Confirmation. You want to confirm. That is, you write to third parties to verify the balance. When you write to a third party in order to ascertain if the information supplied or provided is correct, you write to a bank, you might write to a third party, you might write to a bank, you might write to insurance company, you might write to creditors, you might write to financial institutions. That is confirmation. You want to ascertain, you want to verify if the informations are correct. E.g., writing to bank in order to confirm the cash balance. How much does the company have with them? How much is their bank balance? So you want to compare if the amount reported is correct. That is confirmation. Then after confirmation, the next letter is letter E. E for evaluation. Evaluation, that is external evidence. External, you evaluate the external evidence. You evaluate the external evidence. Any evidence from outside the company is more reliable. Any evidence from outside the company is more reliable. The last letter is letter R, which stands for reperformance. R for reperformance. Reperformance, that is letter R. That is, you do the control or process again yourself. It means you do the control or the entire process you have carried out. You redo them. That is reperformance. You want to check the accuracy of the work you have done earlier. So the whole of the processes you have undergone, then you redo everything. You repeat the process In order to ascertain the accuracy of the process or procedures you have carried out. Example, it means to reduce stock count. You reduce stock count, that is reperformance. Now, having examined the 9 audit procedures, now let me now give you the song to use in remembering them. ICAEW song. ICAEW song. Before we sing the song, let me write it on the board so that we can sing it together. The first one is I inspect. I inspect. Followed by I observe. Observe. Then followed by I recalc. I recalc and inspire. I recalc and inspire. Then the next one is analytics on fire. Analytics on fire. After we have sung the song together, then I will now use it to explain how we can deduce all the 9 audit procedures we've explained earlier. Analytics on fire, then scanning taking me higher. Scanning taking me higher. Scanning taking me higher. Confirmation on the table. Confirmation on the table. Confirmation on the table. Evidence so reliable. Evidence so reliable. Then reperform it. Reperform it. Verify. Then auditor unstoppable. Auditor unstoppable. This is not inspire, it's inquire. And this is take, not taking. So please note those corrections. So now I will sing the song once, listen to the lyrics of the song. I will sing it once, then the second time we shall sing it together. I inspect, I observe, I recalc and inquire. Analytics on fire, scan it take me higher. Confirmation on the table, evidence so reliable. Reperform it, verify. Auditor unstoppable. So we can now sing it together. I inspect, I observe, I recalc and inquire. Analytics on fire, scan it take me higher. Confirmation on the table, evidence so reliable. Reperform it, verify. Auditor unstoppable. The audit procedures from the song. Number 1 is inspection. 1. Inspection. Number 2, we have observation. Observation. Number 3, we have recalculation. Recalculation. Number 4, we have inquire. This is inquire. That is number 4, inquire. Number 5, we have analytical procedures. Analytical procedures. Number 6, we have scanning. Scanning. Number 7, we have confirmation. Confirmation. Number 8, we have evidence so reliable. I've told you the third party evidence is more reliable, which is evaluation. Evaluation. Number 9, we have reperformance. 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 And that is the audit procedure from the song. If this mnemonic and song stuck into your head, congratulations. You've just unlocked the smartest way to remember audit procedures. Drop a comment. I'll raise forever. Like, share, and subscribe to ACCA Academy, where accounting becomes vibes. Your like and comment will encourage me to drop the part 2 of this video on time. Thanks for watching ACCA.